So hi guys, and welcome to the 7 colour challenge, or the rainbow coloured challenge, whichever you would prefer to call it. I am the creator of Create a Comic, and basically I set up this challenge because I set up a lot of challenges mostly because I love to see people try new things with their art. And then some people will be like, oh yeah, I want to try doing this and try doing that, but they never actively do it. So I figured the challenges are a really great way of getting everyone together and taking part at the same time, so everyone can kind of see what each other comes up with. And I just thought it was a really fun idea, because I know when I first started out I found it hard to connect with like the people around me, because I could be sat at the dining room table colouring or something, and there's no one to really relate to in that aspect. But if you're a group doing it together, and especially where like online social media is a big thing these days, and you know, everyone likes to share, so these are just fun little things to do. That of course the build up is going to be eventually I want to get people drawing more comics, especially young people, because I found it like when I was younger there wasn't really much going on about like explaining how to start, and I failed numerous times. So eventually I would like people who obviously take part in the challenges and do single images such as this, and I would just like to see them expand and go into doing a full-fledged comic, because there are people who will come up with characters and they're just so amazing, especially for these challenges, but they'll only ever do one-piece pictures. They will never get round to drawing the entire character's story. They will only do like simple one-shot images, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but I would really love to see some of these characters develop into comics so you can actually see their story. But that is basically the whole point of the challenges. It just, for me, I never had anything like this, because obviously I grew up in the age where like the internet only just sort of happened. So for me it's a new experience, I suppose. Like being able to do something like this, which I obviously never could when I was growing up. I think I just repeated myself there. Doing voiceovers is so awkward. But yeah, so the 7 colour challenge came about after we did the 3 marker challenge, which I thoroughly enjoy no matter what happens, because you could get some horribly atrocious colours and it's amazing. I have this thing, if I think a colour is absolutely hideous, I kind of want it. I could see something really disgusting, like there was this stripy sofa and I was just like, it's hideous, I need it in my life. So with the 3 marker challenge, that's kind of the fun thing, is making it work. And then we did the 1 marker challenge, which like helped to figure out contrast and things like that, and it helped you to understand that you don't necessarily need a wide variety of colours to actually come up with something. So then, you know, I saw Saphira Liu, who has a YouTube channel as well, I'll link her below, but she was doing the primary colour challenge, and again, part of my brain just went, I really want to do a rainbow coloured thing, something just bright, bold, that's going to burn your retinas out. So that's eventually where it came out, and I asked on my Facebook page whether people wanted to try it out, and so many people were up for it that I was just like, okay, we're going to do this. So I set up the event. You've got the entire week, so it started today. You have until the 29th. There is absolutely no rush. There's plenty of time for you guys to get around to it. I've actually done 2 versions of this piece. I did, because I was having trouble deciding. If any of you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I put it up. I was having a debate whether to use the brights that would literally burn your eyeballs, or to do a more soft pastel version of the rainbow colours. So I did both. I definitely prefer the brights now that I've done it. At first I really wanted the pastels, and I thought the pastels would be my favourite. Totally not the case. The brights definitely hands down wins for me. It's just so bright and bubbly and bold. Just I am that kind of person. I love bubbly, bright colours. So for me, this is another reason why I needed to do it. Absolutely love it. So, just going to talk about this piece now. I knew I wanted to do balloons. I've always wanted to do a picture that had brightly coloured balloons in it, but it was just getting the right character to go in it. And this character, her name is Mai, and she came about over a year ago now. And what happened was myself and Kirsty, who goes by Kaida on all her social media, we actually have a comic running together online, Risen and Fallen. They're like two separate comics, but they merge together. If you go to the Smack Jeeves account, you'll understand, or if you follow it, you'll understand. But myself and Kirsty, before we started merging them, we wanted to make sure that we could actually physically write together and we could know each other's boundaries, etc. So what we did is we took an anime that we both really loved. It's more like a guilty pleasure for me, because I just love the fact that it's so bold, and the music, and the anime is Utapri, and we both really dislike the main female lead. It's not because she's okay, it is because she's a little bit on the irritating side, but she's obviously an otome female lead, so she doesn't really have much personality, and she's supposed to get on with every single one of the guys, so it's a possibility. But basically what we did is we came up with our own characters and basically took the entire story in a slightly different direction, so it wasn't all about the romance aspect of it. We went into the boys' backgrounds and actually gave them problems and things like that. So what happened was Kirsty has also done her 7 colour challenge based around her character Cadence. Now Cadence is a composer. Mai is actually she wants to be a voice actress. She doesn't want to sing at all, but of course it's part of the course she's on that she has to, because let's face it, these days you have to be all singing and all dancing to be an idol. So Mai is almost like the odd one out, and she is full of energy and constantly running around, and she's she's always in some sort of costume and charging around as part of her like acting course kind of thing. And at first, obviously, it was just like fun to see how we worked together as like writers, to see if we could physically do it. And after that, it just kind of developed. And Mai is like, I really love this character. She's so full of energy. Okay, she's very much like me in a sense, but not. I think she doesn't quite have the boundaries that I have. I realise sometimes I do go overboard, but Mai kind of doesn't, and she doesn't really need to have that limitation to her. And she's just one of these people, she walks into a room and everybody smiles. But you know, she has her own trials and tribulations that go with the job she wants to do. She was constantly getting work where it was live action, and she didn't want to be doing live action, she wanted to be doing animated stuff. So that's basically her story. And obviously with it being the Rainbow Colour Challenge, having like all these brightly coloured things, because obviously the guys in Utapri have their own signature colours, so that's where the idea of all the balloons are each of the colours. The only issue I had, of course, was the blue. Technically I needed a darker blue for Masato, but I had to use a sky blue. But I also needed the pink, so the idea was you could either have the darker blue or the pink. You had to choose one, so that way it was still 7 colours. So I kind of had an issue there, but I think it works. I think I get away with it. But I was just really worried that this piece was going to have so much blue in the background, and of course part of her outfit is blue. I was just really worried she was going to blend in too much. But thankfully that wasn't the case. So I managed to blend in a little bit of green into her shorts to give it a bit more depth, so she didn't blend too much into the background. But yeah, I really love this piece. I especially like, you can almost see at the top there, you can see a little bit of the pastel coloured one, and the brights just came out so much better, and the colours in real life are so much bolder than in this video as well. It's just it burns my eyeballs and I love it. That was me slapping my thigh, by the way. I got very enthusiastic. That's what that slapping sound was. But I really, really love this piece so much. It's just so happy. I think I haven't actually done a full A4 piece for a good long while, so I'm really pleased with how this has come out. And now, I know I said it was the 7 colours, but I did allow people to use black markers and skin tones, because a lot of people were going to be putting a character into their piece, and I didn't want the pieces to look incomplete without having a filled out skin tone, etc. So, and some people hate having lots of white backgrounds, so they almost want to fill it in black. So I gave those 2 options, so you could use the skin tones and also the colourless blender, because let's face it, the colourless blender has no colour, and it just helps a little bit. And people just appreciate that, and it makes life a little bit easier if they've never done a challenge before. So I just think that was something really nice and easy, I suppose. Well, not easy, but it made life a little bit easier. But yeah. So guys, if you're interested, do have a go, because it's a really interesting, like, the challenges that I run are really fun, and everybody gives each other support and things like that. You can enter as many times as you want, or you can just watch. But do join in the fun, because that's what they're there for, and I want to get as many people involved as possible. So I'm going to stop talking now, and let you guys finish watching the video. But until next time, guys, bye!